Hello and welcome to the 5th draft of Double Masters on the channel. And today I am feeling like Rakdos aggro because out of all my trophies, I believe 2 of them, maybe even the 3rd trophy I have, are all from Rakdos aggro. So the thing I'm doing is trying to force it and see what happens. So pack 1, pick 1, or 2 picks actually. We can look at Go for the Throw and Rift Bolt. I like taking those two a lot over like a Lava Coil or Seeker's Squire. And the good thing about forcing like a Rakdos aggro deck is that your curve is going to be super low. You don't even need Cryptic Spires, so you never have to worry about mana. Yeah, just take Go for the Throw and Bolt because it's burn. Yeah, I like that. As we are past everything but mono red or Rakdos aggro. Huh. Well, that puts a damper into this problem. I mean, we could take Varina and go into a more controlling deck. We still Go for the Throw is just a good card all in all. And like passing up on Karavek and Splinter Freight wasn't that too big of a deal, so just take Varina here. Speculate on that. Yeah, I like that. And here, there's an Augur Spree if you want to go into that, but I think we're off the forcing it, so just take the Chancery here. Sadly, we're not gonna force my Rakdos aggro deck like I had hoped. Oh well. Like, if the lane does end up open and this ends up being cut, then we can move straight back into Rakdos aggro. But sometimes it just isn't there, and you have to actually play Magic. I know, insane. Who wants to play actual Magic when they can just burn your opponents to death? Varina can lean into more like a reanimation style deck or just as a value card. Maybe we can find some zombies to go with it. Or just go into like a graveyardy control deck. Who knows? We're just waiting on Shellbix, since they seem to have been holding up a lot of the packs. Back to the sideboard you go. Here we can take Unburial Rites or Eyeblight Ending. Like, Eyeblight Ending is good removal. But we already have Go for the Throw, and we can pick more removal later. This is a very removal-heavy format, so just take the Unburial Rites and go into a Reanimator style deck. I like that. As we get past pretty bad pack, just take the Cryptic Spires for some fixing. Yeah, around pick 5 or 6 is when you normally grab a Cryptic Spires, if there's like nothing really left. And okay, wow, a Dimir Aqueduct this late. Also, a Graveblade Marauder would be amazing, but gotta take the Aqueduct. These Karoo lands are so good. And here, I guess the Bondkin as an early creature. All of these cards are pretty bad. I guess like Living Lightning is the only decent card. Yeah, just the Bondkin as some sort of like early creature. And here, I like Graveblade Marauder as just a creature to hold down the board early. Other cards like Makeshift Mauler, Transmutation, Blood Flow, Connoisseur, all those are neat. But just a 1/4 Death Touch can stop basically anything. And there's like most of the red removal doesn't get to it besides like Lava Coil. So red decks are going to have a hard time getting past it. Here, this is our wheel pack, I believe. Yes, this is. We wheel an Obzon Charm, Cryptic Spires, and Seeker's Squire. I like the Seeker's Squire being able to help fill the graveyard. Cryptic Spires is just good mana fixing, but we can pick up more later. Let's just take the Seeker's Squire. And speaking of picking up Cryptic Spires later, let's just take it now. We might play a Severed Strands, depending on how the deck comes out. Green seems pretty open, but let's just take the Sensor Splicer. Somebody else can move into green for us. Take all of those cards. Aether Mage's Touch could be interesting. Just take Thrall and Glory, whatever. Yeah, the Aether Mage's Touch can be interesting in this deck. Moving on to our pack number 2, we have a Settle Beyond Reality, a Scion of Darkness, and an Aether Snipe. Our rares are Wasitora, Nekoru Queen, which either creates 3/3s dragon cats, or forces their opponents to sacrifice a creature. And then there's also Joda. Both of these are good, but we're not even close to playing either of them. Well, we're close to Joda, but I don't think we want to do that. I think here we take the Aether Snipe and Settle Beyond Reality as just a good removal and good flicker card. And here there's not really much. Gruul Turf is just way off. Just take like a Settle Beyond Reality number 2. Sure, it's a good removal spell, unconditional, and also can get value. Sadly, we're not close to the Wiltleaf Liege, but we can take either a Sky Knight or an Assistant here. I like the Assistant because it helps us ramp into all of these 5-mana stuff and fills the graveyard, even though Sky Knight's really strong by itself. We do need 3 drops, though, and we do have enough to... Yeah, let's take the Sky Knight. Okay, we have Grand Arbiter Augustin IV. I really love this card in this set just because it's able to ramp you a ton while also stopping your opponents from doing much. And here we can pick up the Deranged Assistant, Glimpse the Unthinkable. If I do get that in our pack one pick one, I will try and do a mill deck. That will be a fun one at some point, but just take the Deranged Assistant here over Scion of Darkness. And here, there's another Hoopu. Sadly, we're not in green, so not taking that. We'll just take the Sky Knight here over a Sensor Splicer. Yeah, I think one Sensor Splicer is good enough. Just take the Sky Knight. And then Eye Blight ending here is perfect as some great removal over a Cryptic Spires. And a Fireblade Artist would have been nice for our aggro deck, but just take the Body Double. Body Doubles can basically be it's a reanimation spell that doesn't have to reanimate a creature. And it can be anything, so that also helps. Verena, how good is... Like, Verena gets Emburial Rites into the graveyard and stuff to Emburial Rites. But we still need, like, some big creatures to reanimate and get some big value off of that. Hey, Joda. What's up? We'll just take the Doomed Traveler here. And Carrier Thrall number 2. How is Swift Spear wheeling? How? Just one of those days. Just one of those days. If you haven't watched my last video, go check it out. But I was talking about how if I get like a foil card and then a non-foil card, I'd like to, during sideboarding, I switch one Thrall out for the other. So it makes it look like that we have two. It's just a little trick that if people notice it, they might play around the second. It's not very... It's an interesting play that isn't really necessary, but I like thinking about it. Here, Call to the Feast to help stabilize, like against aggressive decks look nice over Glimpse. And a Sensor Splicer Wield. Okay, so maybe like we're looking for like Mist Meadow Witches for late game. Maybe some big bombs to help reanimate. And pack number 3, our rares are Bloodforged Battle Axe and Gifts Ungiven. How do I say this lightly? They're both pretty bad. Like, Bloodforged Battle Axe is not even that good. It's a it's an overpriced bone splitter, is how I see it. So instead, definitely taking the Chancery. And what? Cryptic Spires? This might be a pack 1, pick 1 Cryptic Spires. How does actually... Gifts Ungiven is definitely going to wheel, so we don't have to consider that too much. Let's just take... Momentary Blink number 2. Let's take the Cryptic. Just some mana fixing. As we get a Deep Analysis. I like having at least one Deep Analysis in these decks. And here, Path to Exile or a Deranged Assistant. Oh, Path to Exile is so good. Removal, but Deranged Assistant fills the graveyard, is ramp. It's so good. We'll take the Path. Path is just way too good of a removal spell. Like, 1 mana exile, sure they get a land, but in limited, the land most of the time doesn't matter when you're pathing something late game. And then the Sky Knights are looking pretty decent. We have 14 creatures, so Verena, not Verena, but Gravebleed Marauder is looking pretty decent. Here we have another Eyeblade Ending, number 2, or a Deranged Assistant, number 2. I like the Deranged Assistant here, just so we can ramp, versus the Eyeblade Ending, since we already have Go for the Throw and Path to Exile, and To Settle Beyond Realities, excuse me. So yeah, just take the Deranged Assistant. As we are past a Camball over Scion of Darkness number 3, or we've seen Scion of Darkness number 3, but we don't really want it. Like, Scion of Darkness, we do need some sort of big creature to reanimate, I guess. But Camball's, there's so many non-creature spells in the set that Camball's really good if you can play him. Let's take Camball. This pack has literally nothing for us besides Capture Sphere, which I don't even want to play. Liliana's Elite. He might end up playing that. Sure, Jeskai Elder. And here's our wheel pack. Somebody took Gifts Ungiven. Wow. You take the Pontiff or like the Blink. Like we've got double Sensor Splicer and Aether Snipe as ETB effect stuff. Let's take the Pontiff. And now we take a Call to the Feast. Yeah, seems pretty good. Sideboard in Last Breath against an aggressive deck. We're gonna run like 16 lands because the crew lands are broken. None of these last picks really matter too much. So we have looking like 29s. We need to make 5 cuts. I think I like both Sensor Splicers, just because like if we do mill it or discard it, it's fine. And then we can flicker it for additional value. Vidalcan Ori could be interesting. Just always pass the turn. But take the Pontiff, number 2. And yeah. Okay, so cuts, probably the Thrall. We'll figure out how we want to, let's just do like that, and like that. So, cuts, how does Aether, I think I like Aether Mage's Touch in this deck. Seems weird, but I like it. Let's cut, let's first move out the land so we can see exactly how many we need to cut. We need to cut around 6 cards, so a Carrier Thrall, a Bondkin, 1 Pontiff, maybe? Yeah, 1 Pontiff. Those were the easy cuts. Now time for the hard ones. 1 Call to the Feast? Yeah, I think 1 Call to the Feast can go. And then we can cut, like, a Jeskai Elder? Yeah, let's cut the Jeskai Elder. It's okay. We already have ways to discard stuff, so we don't really care about Jeskai Elder too much. And then Pontiff number 2, maybe? We'll sideboard it in against creature decks, but I'm not a big fan of Pontiff here. But yeah, let's throw back in the lands. Add, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 white pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue pips. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black pips. So 13, 10, 8. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4 white. And we do want the blue early, so I think going 4, 3, 3 is, I like that. We also need double blue for Aether Snipe as well, so yeah. Here's the deck, and I will see you all in round 1. Alright, we are here in game 1 against Pranum. I won the dice roll, so yes, I will keep. Or yes, I'll be on the play, and I will keep this hand with ease. This is basically a 6-land hand with 2 of the crew lands. So just start off with an island and pass the turn. And then we'll lead off with a Chancery because Path to Exile we might want to cast. Even though, like, or Lay of Sky Knight, either way works. Pass the turn, play a Chancery, bounce the swamp, pass it, or island and pass the turn. We now have a swamp, so we can cast all manner of spells next turn. If we draw like some black spell we need to cast. Coiling? Nope, Seeker Squire. They find, oh, okay, a Cataract Leviathan. That's a scary one. We'll keep that in mind for later. Oh, they put it into the graveyard, so they might have reanimation. Who knows? Let's not reveal that we're black just yet, and detain that. Actually, it might have been smart to play the black source last turn, or this turn, just in case we draw a 3-drop that's black, like our Graveblade Marauder or Camball. That way we can play it, then play the Demure Aqueduct, bounce it back to hand. But, ah well. Hindsight's 20/20. Just a small mistake. They pass the turn. Grand Arbiter Augustin, not punished. Do we want to try and run out Grand Arbiter now? Yeah, we can Unburial Rites. Grand Arbiter gets countered. Let's do it now, so if they do have like a removal spell, they have to like cast it on the Sky Knight now, like Eyeblade Ending. This just makes it harder for them to cast anything on our turn, and helps us ramp a bit. So yeah, I like this. Next turn we can call for the feast. Call to the feast for like 3 mana. Play Aqueduct and pass. If they have like an Extract from Darkness, it'll be the Grand Arbiter will stall that for a turn. And if they just have a scary creature, we can always path it if needed. They're tapping for something, and they probably just didn't notice that Grand Arbiter made things more expensive. As they cast a Deranged Assistant. I don't like running out Call to the Feast just because they can reanimate the Leviathan, and then it'll be just a waste of a turn. But what else are we doing? Casting a Doom and Traveler? I don't like that either, so. Cast Call to the Feast. Move to combat. Swing for 3. And then play Demure Aqueduct. Bounce the Swamp back to hand. And pass the turn. Now we've got a pretty sizable board. Their spells are all being taxed. Everything is looking fine. Let's hope they don't have the Unburial Rites or like any reanimation spell. Oh wait, they can unearth it for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're 2 turns off from doing that. Let's cast Seeker's Squire. And put that into the graveyard. We don't want that. Play a Swamp. Move to combat. Swing for 3. Do we have like a Disfigure? What do they have? They mill Swamp with the Deranged Assistant. They cast a Winged Quaddle. That's fine. That's better than fine. Well, not better than fine. Like, we'd rather have it alive, but now we can have Unburial Rites. Can we cast Unburial Rites? I'm not sure about. It's not white, so yeah, we can't. Just cast a Doom and Traveler and pass the turn. We don't have double white, so we can't hold up Path, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're 1 mana off from unearthing. Is Unearth casting? I'm not sure. It might be an activated ability. It's probably an activated ability, so they're probably unearthing the Leviathan. Yep. They unearth it and return everything back to hand. Luckily, we'll be able to dump everything out pretty easily. Although we lose all the vampires, which sucks. So next turn, probably play Grand Arbiter and Seeker's Squire. On the plus side, now we have stuff to do with our mana. We take 5. And it is exiled. We draw a swamp. Let's lead off with Grand Arbiter Augustin into a Seeker's Squire. If we find a Plains, then we can cast Doom and Traveler. It's just a black-white Cryptic Spires, so... On the plus side, now we have double white. Downside, it's not a Plains, so we can't cast the Traveler. They recast their Deranged Assistant for 3 mana. And then probably cast their Owen Seeker Squire. Yep, Seeker's Squire. And then what do they hit? They hit a Severed Strands. Looks like they keep that on top. Little do they know, we have Unburial Rights to get back Grand Arbiter. Let's cast Sky Knight. Prevent Deranged Assistant from making mana. And detain it. Sure, we can do Seeker's Squire and crash in for 3, but I don't think we want to right now. Like, just keeping them off that mana is nice. When they still have 5 cards in hand. Yep, just pass the turn. They will definitely cast Severed Strands, sacrificing the Deranged Assistant to kill Grand Arbiter. They gain 1, kill it, that's fine. Yeah. They get 1 turn to cast spells that are non-taxed. They cast Unearth, bring back the Quaddle. Well, that's annoying. Settle Beyond Reality. I like that card. I like it a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can't Unburial Rights and Settle, so I guess we Unburial Rights, hold up Path. Unburial Rights Grand Arbiter. And swing in for 1 just for the Spirit. I think I actually... Do I like that? Nah, we can wait. Yeah, this is still counting as... Yeah, that's still counting as a black spell, not a white spell, even though we're spending white mana, so... We can't use Grand Arbiter's Gustin's discount to cast that. Oh well. They mill Gifts on... Wait a second, was this the guy that was taking the Gifts Ungiven? Was this guy the same person in our draft? I don't know. I'll have to review the tapes later. See if he was in the draft, or this person was in the draft or not. But they Forbidden Alchemy, milling Graveblade Marauder and 2 lands. And then they Thought Scour themselves, milling 2 lands. So that is a lot of land. Hopefully they don't have a spider spawning, because right now it's looking at 1, 2... Oh, actually only 2 creatures, not bad. Go for the throat. I like those odds. Let's settle beyond reality. Oh wait, we tapped 1 extra. Exile you, flicker you. Possibly draw a card. Yep, we draw a card. Play the planes, move to combat. Swing for 3 in the air. And pass the turn, hold up our double removal. Instead of flashing back, getting Sky Knight back with Unburial Rites. Like, detaining a creature is pretty good, and then just removing stuff. Let's see, what you got? Splinter. Are you sure this guy wasn't in the same draft as us? This person definitely was in the same draft as us. Like, it can't be gifts. We passed them Gifts Ungiven and Splinter Fright in that exact direction. Well, let's go for the throat bit, I guess. Yeah, go for the throat Splinter Fright. Our turn. Aether Snipe. Bounce the Squire and then crash in. Swing it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 damage. I like that. And pass the turn. We can flash back the Unburial Rites to detain something. Hopefully they don't have Damnation. What did they mill? They milled an advanced Stitchwing. That's fine. It comes back tapped, so that's not really a problem. Let's see. What are they doing with their mana? Web Weaver Changeling. Yep, they gain 5 life. Annoying, but fine. Now what? Seeker Squire again? We only have 9 cards left in deck of note, so we could definitely just mill out. They keep the Mercfiend Liege on top. We will Path to Exile, shuffling away that Mercfiend Liege. And then we will flash back our Unburial Rites, detain the Seeker Squire, and win the game. GG's, OP. GG's. Sky Knight. Target you. On to sideboarding. Let's see. They're definitely a more controlling deck. We want to board anything in against such a control deck? I don't think we do. Let's just run it back. Yeah, like most of our sideboard tech is against aggro decks, like Last Breath, or some Thralls, Call to the Feast, Pontiffs. All of that's aggro stuff. So yeah, I think our deck's looking pretty good right now. While we wait, story time. Oh, never mind. I was about to do story time. Let me know if you want me to do story time sometimes while there's going to be a long wait, or not. This hand doesn't have black, and the hand's mostly black. But I think we still keep. Like, Deranged Assistant helps us ramp and mill cards for body double to copy. And they also mill cards, so body double can copy anything they have as well. And there's a black source, so no problems. Never punished. Never. Except when I am, but it's not now. Play land, maybe play Seeker Squire from our OP. Seeker Squire called it. They just hit a swamp, so it's just a 1-2. No big deal. Let's cast a Deranged Assistant here so we can start ramping. They cast a Deranged Assistant. We take 1. And our turn. Play Swamp, tap what we mill and Eyeblade Ending. Let's cast... Let's cast a Seeker Squire. Enters the battlefield. Let's hit a Aether Mage's Touch. Let's keep that on top of our library. Into a Deranged Assistant. And pass the turn. Next turn we'll have 6 mana, so what we're probably going to do is Campbell and Graveblade Marauder. Just swarm the board. They cast an Advanced Stitchwing. Annoying, but fine. Land. Mill Deep Analysis. That's an interesting one. Mill Sky Knight. We actually only have... We only have 1 black, actually, so we can't cast Graveblade Marauder, so let's just go Deep Analysis now. And draw Grand Arbiter, Augustin. Perfect. That'll be for next turn. Then we can have a 2-mana Aether Mage's Touch as long as we draw a blue source. Things are looking pretty good here. No attacks because of their Stitchwing. Their Stitchwing. Let's see what they got now. A Deranged Assistant, 3 cards left in hand. They mill a Seeker's Squire. They cast an Elite, so that's a 2-2 at the moment. They swing for 3. That is fine by me. Our turn, blue mana, perfect. So let's tap correctly. Mill a Sensor Splicer. Mill an Unburial Rites. Cast Grand Arbiter Augustin. Into passing the turn. And then we will cast Aether Mage's Touch for only 2 mana. They mill a land and a land. They're missing green. Yeah, I just noticed that. So that's definitely helping. They probably have 2 green cards stuck in their hand. We take 2. We don't want to like try and hit like an Aether Snipe to try and ambush it or just bounce it. Yeah, end of turn. Cast Aether Mage's Touch. Get a Sensor Splicer or a Varina. Varina on this board looks pretty good. We can gain a bit of life, draw a few cards, put it like this, in case that ever gets to that deep down. And our turn. Move to combat. Swing with Varina and Seeker Squire. Draw, discard tap land, gain a life. And Settle Beyond Reality is perfect. So now we can flicker Varina so Varina won't leave. We mill Lay of Skyknight and Cryptic Spires. Exile the Stitched Assistant, exile Varina. And then how much does it cost to activate Varina? 2. I think I like just creating some zombies. Exile Eyeblight Ending, Aether Mage's Touch, Cryptic Spires, Cryptic Spires. Yeah, just creating a board of 2/2s doesn't look bad. Instead of like casting a body double mimicking a Sensor Splicer. They mill a Forbidden Alchemy and a land, so that's what they're probably going to cast. As we see them tapping 7 mana for the Forbidden Alchemy, or 8 mana actually. Camball finally did something! Hooray! They mill Island, Recluse, and Forest. End of turn. Exile Eyeblight Ending and Cryptic Spires. Always yield to creating zombies. Exile Cryptic and Aether Mage's Touch. Do they have anything in their graveyard we want to copy? No. Okay, well, let's move to combat. Swing with Varina, Zombie, Zombie, Squire, even Camball, why not? Like, we can just copy, reanimate, do whatever. We draw 3. Discard 1. We don't need lands. And then we're just going to path to exile the Elite. And then they concede. Yeah, good games, opponent. Followed by a Momentary Blink and Doomed Traveler. Yeah, we had that game locked up. Well, on to the next match. Here we are for round 2 against Icarus 13. We won the die roll, so we will be on the play. And this is a hard mulligan with 1 land. This is much better. We'll keep and put 1 Deranged Assistant on the bottom. Let's lead off with the Plains and Pass. That way we can have all colors mana without having to reveal anything. Play the Aqueduct. And pass. They cast a Troll. Well, that's a perfect card to help deal with it. Cast a Deranged Assistant and pass the turn. Do we want to exile it right away, or do we want to slam Grand Arbiter first? I think I like Grand Arbiter to slow them down first. Like, they can spend all their time dealing with the troll. I'm happy for that. Like, at first I thought Lolth Troll. I'm just gonna call it Lolth Troll. At first, when I saw it in the draft format, I thought it was really strong because it would be hard to kill. It was a sizable threat that could represent basically any size at any time. But as I played with it against it more and more, it just became underwhelming and was really just underperforming most of the time. Like, you don't want to pitch away your cards just to deal with like a creature just for this to get exiled by like a Settle Beyond Reality or a Path to Exile, or just stopped by a Sky Knight over and over. It's like the white decks. Wasn't that great. But this is aggressive. Pretty aggressive looking start for them. They discard Intet the Dreamer, Annoyed Altasaur. What is this? I'm scared. What was that? How was that? It's mill. Well, let's Settle Beyond Reality to get rid of it, since it's not a big problem anymore. Because now it's exiled and never to be seen again. Oh, you thought you could regenerate it. Well, not today, buddy. Not today. They cycle and unearth. Swing and pass. We'll take 3 since they're pretty empty-handed. Tap, what do we mill? Doomed Traveler? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just... We only have 1 blue and 1 white at the moment, so making these decisions are sort of hard. Let's go with the Aether Snipe to help tempo things a bit. Send the Una's Prowler away. Go for 2 damage. And pass. And now we got a 6-6, or a 4-4. They recast the Prowler. They cast a growth, or play a Growth Chamber. We draw a land. And it's another blue, so that's definitely helpful. Let's cast the Sky Knight. And then cast Deep Analysis to draw some cards. Attack with everything, since Una's Prowler is detained. And pass the turn. They cast a Brindle Shoat. And pass. Well, we will play an island. Tap 2, cast Sky Knight to detain the Shoat. And a Eyeblade Ending on the Prowler. And then they concede. Yeah, GG's OP. Like, that was pretty scary when they discarded not 1, not 2, but 4 creatures to the troll to push in 4 damage. But that just got rid of their hands so quickly. Here, we can't, like, all of this stuff is about size matters, and because they can pump up their creature at any time, it's not very helpful to board in any of the Pontiffs or the Last Breath, even though the Last Breath exile based. This hand was an easy keep just because of the fact that we have all our colors, we've got ramp, we've got card draw, we've got big thing, and now we just drew removal. Everything is coming up aces. And that's interesting. Let's play Chancery, bounce this, end step, discard Unburial Rites, or Aether Snipe. Let's discard the Snipe. Next turn, we play land, cast Range Assistant, followed by Unburial Rites the Snipe. Yeah, I like that. Just to help tempo some stuff out, get some board going. They cycle the Unearth. Are they missing a land drop? Nope, they cast a Rot Farm. Or they play a Rot Farm. Why do I keep thinking casting up land and playing land are same? Anyway, enough of my mad blabbering. We'll play a Deranged Assistant, play a Plains, and pass the turn. This might represent like a path to exile for them, so they might play around it if they have anything they want to not get exiled. Easily take it. They cast a Rejuvenator and put a Swamp into play. They're still missing blue, and never mind, they have red. I was about to say they're missing blue and red, but they just drew red. Well, time to negate their ramp with Grand Arbiter Augustin. Sure, Aether Snipe is nice, but we don't got anything to bounce that we want to bounce. Like Brindle Show is just easily recastable. Rejuvenator is fine. Sure, they Ground Assault, Grand Arbiter. And then they're gonna swing in for 2. We take it. Mill a Swamp. That's fine. And then they cast a Graveblade Marauder. Let's see, this would be 3 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 mana right now. Let's play an Island. And do we go for Verena here? Or Unburial Rites? Let's mill, see what we mill. Cryptic Spires. I think I like Unburial Rites, the Grand Arbiter, just for the turn. Or just for now. And we can next turn flash it back, reanimating the Aether Snipe. Just because Grand Arbiter slows them down a whole bunch, along with accelerating us, so that can help us catch up pretty quick. If they swing out with everything, that means they have Disfigure, but it would disfigure the Deranged Assistant a while ago. Let's block the Brindle Show. They probably wanted the creature in graveyard for the Graveblade Marauder to start doing stuff. Okay. Land. Let's flashback Unburial Rites, getting back Aether Snipe. bounce the Boar token, and then go for the Wasitora. And then I don't think we need to mill. One card isn't gonna change everything. And then I'm cool with trading the Aether Snipe for the Graveblade. Just becoming too big of a threat right now. As they cast an Annoyed Altasaur, cascading into a Blood Artist. That's annoying, but fine. Especially once this Wasitora will become our own Wasitora. Wait, they don't cast the Blood Artist? Interesting. Very interesting. Let's mill a card. We mill a Sky Knight. So this is 4 mana. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I like going body double, copying Wasitora. And deep analysis? No, let's go with Eyeblade Ending. And pass. Wasitora is definitely going to start doing some good stuff. Unless they ground assaulted, of course. Which is fine. They cast a Thrall. I'm still confused why they didn't cast the Blood Artist. Maybe a mistap or something. Or a misplay by them. Well, let's path to exile the Graveblade, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh, that was a thorn in our side. Let's mill a card, see what we mill. Our own Graveblade Marauder. And let's cast Deep Analysis on ourselves. Followed by Verena, Lich Queen. And swinging for 4. We have enough fodder for Verena to create a lot of zombies. They cast another Marauder. Or did they recast the Marauder? I don't remember. Oh yeah, we killed it? Bounced it? I don't remember at this point. No, we pathed it, yeah, so they just had a second. My memory's poor, I'm sorry. If you're still watching, I am very surprised and worried for your health. Let's cast Deep Analysis. Play an island. Let's mill a card, see what we mill. It's another Sensor Splicer. Let's cast Lay of Skyguard. Detain the Marauder. Into Sensor Splicer. Into Deranged Assistant. Swing, swing. Trigger. Discard planes. That's fine. Sure, we lose our zombie engine, but we get rid of 3 spells for the likes of 1. And then they get an Eldrazi and a Boar. We have 14 cards in deck, so we may have to worry about milling ourselves out soon. Ooh, let's see what they hit. No! Grand Arbiter Augustin! Why? No. Betrayal by the Dice Gods. We have anything that we can flash back or get if we keep milling? Momentary Blink? Yeah, like a 1 in 13 chance of drawing a momentary, or 2 in 13. Well, now it's 1 in 12. Both of those bad mills. swing for 3, pass the turn. They moved combat. They're also in top deck mode like us. We will double block. They kill the Aether Snipe, that is fine. We draw Aether Mage's Touch. I don't think we want to mill anymore, so let's just cast Aether Mages. And there goes Momentary Blink. Let's put it like you, and you. Always yield. Settle Beyond Reality, put on top of my library. Moved combat, swing for 3. And they better find an answer to this Sky Knight, or they die. End of turn, comes back. Excuse me. Oh. They play a land and pass. Do they have something? Let's find out. Swing for 3. And damage happens. GG's, opponent. GG's. On to the final round. We have not lost a single game yet, so let's keep it up and get it. My 4th trophy, 2nd one on the channel. Here we are in the final round against Sipo Style. We will be on the play. And this looks like a pretty good hand. All of our colors, double removal, some ramp, some mill. All we're looking for is some big stuff and some card draw, and we are set. Yeah. When I was thinking about Aether Mage's Touch, and at first when I saw it in the set, I was like, this is pretty bad card. Like, considering that it's just just got the ETB effect and that was it. It would come back. But being on an instant kind of helped it. Being able to cast it on your opponent's end step and then getting it to attack. Okay, Bitter Blossom. That's a scary one to see. And that's a sad one to mill. We've got infinite removal, but it doesn't do anything against Bitter Blossom. When they're going to kill us with a billion fairies. Yikes. Ugh, Bitter Blossom scary. Connoisseur. End of turn. Eyeblight ending the Connoisseur because they can just turn their fairies into counters. Mill Vereen. Why are we milling all the good cards? Ah! Pain. Just pass and hold our infinite removal. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be the game where we board in our 2 Pontiffs. And then, like, maybe do some other shenanigans. Shattergang Brothers. Like, seriously, did we draft against all of these people? Because all these decks look pretty similar. Mill Aether Mages. Why are we milling all the spells and drawing all the lands? Why? Is this karma? Do bad things happen to bad people? Why would this happen to such a perfect being like myself? None of this was deserved. Okay, maybe a bit of it was deserved, but we don't talk about that. We take 2. And what do they got this time? They cast K command. Sure, discard land. We already have enough as is. Sensor Splicer. What a perfect draw. Your fairies are cute. My golems are cuter. Oh, look at this adorable fleshy thing. It's beautiful. Just play a big creature, please. I would like that. I would like that a lot. Very much so. I would... Okay, Demir Aqueduct, that's fine. Play Demir Aqueduct. Bounce land back to hand. Move to combat. Swing for 3. They only have 1 card left in hand, which is pretty good for us. They create another fairy. Like, this is just an ever-counting clock of damage. It's gonna be hard to stop. Vampire Sovereign. Yep, that is definitely something we are exiling. Momentary Blink, put a Sensor Splicer. Create a Golem. Play Plains. Exile you, exile you. Get another Golem. Move to combat. Swing with some Golems. Down to 9 they go. Followed by 8. This is going to be a close game. The war of fairies versus golems. We go down to 2. Damnation! What a top deck for them. And now their Bitter Blossom is going to win the game. Hooray! Into Blood Artist. Wow, what are these top decks? I mean, to be fair, they drew a ton of lands as well. Yeah, that's game. We can't do anything about that. Like, they swing... I mean, not necessarily game just yet. Do we want to reveal Cambo? No, I don't think we do. Yeah. Yeah, Sky Knight wouldn't have done it. Oh well. On to game 2. Pontiff, Pontiff. Anything else? Nope, just bring in the Pontiffs. Cut. Graveblade? Sky Knights? Probably 1 Sky Knight. And a Doomed Traveler? Let's cut 1 Doomed Traveler. Especially when I'm on the play. Yes, we will be on the play, and yes, we will keep this beautiful hand that has all of our colors. Early creature. Hopefully they don't have a turn 2 Bitter Blossom again. Please. Swamp and pass. Let's hope no Bitter Blossoms. No Bitter Blossom. Perfect. We have successfully avoided death. Now all we have to do is find lands. We've got removal. Oh, they're stuck on 2 lands. Well, once we draw a land, we're stuck on 3. cleanup. What do they discard? They discard a Pirate's Pillage, and we hit a land, so ha, take that, opponent. Deep Analysis to draw 2 cards, and a Pontiff. And pass. They cast a Thrall. Let's flashback either Mage's Touch or Deep Analysis. And wow. No lands. That's fine, we'll just cast a Deranged Assistant. Swing for 1. Always yields. And then we will discard. Let's discard the Aether Mage's Touch. We already have enough stuff in hand. There's the Bitter Blossom. Well, we can wait on the Pontiff a bit so we can wipe their board away. Mill Momentary Blink. Good mill. Let's cast a Sensor Splicer. Create a 3/3 and swing in for 1. Yeah, the Pontiff definitely looks good here. And we don't want to kill the Thrall just yet, just because they get a Eldrazi that they can sacrifice for mana. They hit us another Swamp. Do they have a black card for 4 mana? Like, they're missing 2 colors. The Crypt expires tapped. They might have Damnation, so we don't want to put everything on the board too much. Let's... With enough removal, I think we can just settle beyond reality here. Exile you and flicker you. And this way they can't get the mana for Damnation. So they'd have to hit another land, which hopefully they don't. Yeah, them chump blocking probably means they have Damnation in hand. Bloodflow Connoisseur. Fine. I don't really want to commit anything more to the board. So let's just momentary blink our Sensor Splicer again. Combat, attack with everything. If they chump block and chump block, we are 100% sure that they have a Damnation. They also didn't sacrifice a creature to the Bloodflow Connoisseur, so that's also really strange of them. Another Bloodflow Connoisseur. But I think now they're just dead. Because now we cast a Pontiff. Saying creatures I don't control get -1/-1. And yeah, that's game. Them getting stuck on 3 lands really helped there, but we can't guarantee that for the next game, so let's throw it back in and see how we do. Yeah, if they had a Damnation in hand, Might end bad for us as well. I think not committing too much to the board while having like all of those powerful cards in hand was the correct thing to do. Here, this is an easy keep. Although we might have to discard something to hand size because of the Chancery. Crypt expires. Pass the turn. Not Bitter Blossom, not Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom! Ah, why? The pain. Play the Chancery. Bounces back to hand. End of turn. Discard land. Maybe we should have discarded the Crypt expires there. Oh well. Hissing Iguanar. That's something. Oh, Crypt expires tapped and pass. Really hoping on drawing one of our two Pontiffs soon. They cast a Thrall. Oh yeah, Pontiff. Please. Let's go! Top deck Pontiff. Creatures I don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Say goodbye to your board. This is going to be painful, though. Very, very painful. Ow, 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 ow. Iguanar definitely was painful there, but I don't think we could have waited a little longer for the Pontiff. No, we'd rather just hold it to flicker rather than for it to die and haunt something. Living Lightning. Well, let's settle beyond reality, exile the Living Lightning, and flicker the Pontiff. Creatures I don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. And pass. They only have 2 cards in hand, one of them just drawn, so they're really out of gas right now. So the only thing keeping them afloat is that Bitter Blossom. And now we have a Sensor Splicer. And we can reset their board at any time with the Momentary Blink. They drew a land. Or it seems like. Spark Mage's Gambit. Let's haunt the Golem. So if they do, in fact, kill the Golem, then they will lose their board. Island. Sensor Splicer. Use combat. Swing for 3. They chump block. And we pass. They hit a green source. That's a little scary, but fine. We go down to 10. And Damnation. It doesn't really matter. We just get +1/+1. Sure, why not? Pontiff number 2. We just cast Call to the Feast? No, let's reanimate the Splicer, hold, and then flicker it. You can pull out all the stops, my friend, but it is not enough against I. End of turn. Momentary blink. We pass. Play a land. Cast Call to the Feast. Move to combat. Swing with some golems. They take it. And I pass a turn. They do not know what I have in store for them. They concede! And that's another trophy for the channel. GG's, opponent. Let's see what I get from this chest. We open 5 play points, Hollowborn, Barghest, and Wrath of God. GG's. Well, that is the 4th trophy of mine and the 2nd trophy on the channel. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. It all really helps for me just being a small channel. And let me know your thoughts. What kind of decks do you want me to build, or formats you want to have me do? In any case, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.